in this hostage swap. You landed here in the United States, and it was President Biden and Vice President Harris who met you on the tarmac.
I didn't realize the president and the vice president were going to be there. You know, I had been in solitary confinement for the 5 days prior to leaving at Lefortovo prison in Moscow. You know, I had on clothes that I had worn in 2018 when I'd been arrested. You know, they hadn't been washed. They were too big for me. I was very careful coming down the stairs from the plane, and so I came down slowly. I waved at people that were waving at me, and then I gave the president a salute as the commander-in-chief, and I just walked down to him and started talking to him. You know, I thanked him for getting us home. President Biden, he was very, very personable. The same with Vice President Harris. You know, you saw us. We embraced, we hugged, we chatted. You know, at one point, the president took the flag lapel pin off his lapel and put it on my shirt. You know, we kind of milled about chatting and talking to the media and whatnot. And, you know, that made it real because we were with real people. We talked, you know, we chatted. There was a funny picture, I think I've sent it to your team. In the operations building, there was a TV on. And I'm standing by the TV watching, and somebody said, "Oh, it's just the Olympics." I was like, "Really?" Because I hadn't seen the Olympics. And you know, it was women's basketball. And as I'm looking, I said, "Hey, look, it's Brittany. Brittany's on TV."
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, yeah. But it was one of those incredible moments where you're finally connecting things. Yeah. And you know,
it's surreal.
It is. But you know, Brittany was a great help. After she came home, you know, I think probably within days of her getting home, she was talking to people about how they could support me. And she had people making monetary donations, sending cards, sending letters, offering all sorts of support. Her basketball team, all sorts of support.
You said it didn't feel real until you were flying over England. What was it that you saw that hit home for you?
So we'd gone to Turkey, and now we're flying back across Europe. And we're in a small plane, CIA plane, and I knew we were getting close to England. As we got closer, I saw the White Cliffs of Dover. So, you know, there was absolutely no question. I mean, they are so white; they're whiter than the White House.
You had to have thought of your parents too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, my family members, you know, in England and Ireland, and actually in France and Poland also, you know, they were monitoring what was happening. They knew what was happening. And you know, I thought about them, knowing that I'd be flying over, you know, their homes on my way back. So yeah, it's still emotional to this day. It's not every day that you're held hostage. It's not every day that you're released. So there's a lot, you know, you talk about PTSD. There's a lot of that comes back in a positive manner. And you know, that was one of those moments where I wasn't expecting to see the White Cliffs of Dover, but I did. And you know, during the war, they guided the Spitfire pilots back. And you know, for me, it was guiding me and Evan and Elsu back to the United States. So, yeah, it's still one of those things that I think about. It's emotional, and I'm sure it always will be. But you know, that's one of the good memories.
We'll be right back.